think this video will actually be a positive one for once instead of me bitching all the time.
I got broads in Atlanta, just to put me in the family, credit cards in the scammers, hitting the licks in the bank.
You know, everyone has their little niche, right? I mean, everyone has their little interest, you know? I think the niche on this channel is probably like, commentary videos, like the people who just like speak over gameplay about some random YouTube drama that not a lot of people really care about. You know, like if you went in real life and asked people about this stuff, they would probably be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But anyways, like, I think one niche that like doesn't even get appreciated enough is like people who literally sit down, grab their little avatars and just get mad over children's cartoons, like grown men getting mad over children's cartoons. That is the topic of today's episode, okay? Grown men getting mad over children's cartoons, okay? Call it like call it a fucking the cartoon community. Yeah, that's what it's called. I don't know why it took so long for me to think of that, right? But anyways, like in terms of examples, right? The first example, like the first thing that probably pops up into someone's head when they're thinking like people that scream at children's cartoons, right? The first thing that probably comes up in someone's head is that Mr. Enter guy, right? Now Mr. Enter is like a YouTuber, like the mysterious Mr. Enter or something. That name is fucking dumb, by the way. I think the name just Mr. Enter is better. But anyways, the mysterious Mr. Enter, right? You know, a lot of people probably know him from that, like, do not ping me ever screenshot or some bullshit like that. But, like, the thing about Mr. Enter, right, is, like, dude, honestly, those old videos where he would just, like, get mad at SpongeBob are so fucking hilarious. Like, honestly, they are, like, the funniest things ever.
This is to you. Arrogance and stupidity are the worst traits to have together. John Enter, come at me, bro.
On one hand, you can be like, oh, okay, well, I mean, technically this dude is a little too grown to be, like, getting angry over, like, these children's cartoons. Like, these cartoons are made for children, not this grown-ass man. Maybe he should stop getting mad over them, right? But on another hand, right, like, the hand I think of, or the thing that I think of when I watch those videos is, like, it's kind of interesting to see, like, the different perspective, like, how passionate he is. It's, like, it's really interesting. Like, I kind of fuck with the different perspective in terms of, like, you know, he just has passion for it. Like, you know, back then, I mean, not a lot of people were earning money off of YouTube, you know? Like, earning money off of YouTube was, like, a very, like, the cartoon community, when Mr. Enter was, like, really popular and ranting on, like, SpongeBob and stuff, you know, that wasn't, like, the cartoon community barely like really existed, you know? It was just starting to get up, so like you could tell he wasn't really doing it for like a quick buck, right? Unlike like a lot of people today, you know, who just grab their fucking little AI voice and just talk about why SpongeBob went downhill or something.
Notices a note on his door. Apparently he's expecting a delivery and he missed it.
It doesn't really matter though, because the delivery shows up in the next minute. There's a big problem though. SpongeBob is so excited about his package, he completely forgets about Gary's food. SpongeBob opens up his package, which is just like a little paddle with a ball attached. He also finds a note, which tells him about the Dirty Bubble Challenge. And this challenge is insane. SpongeBob has to hit the ball 29 trillion times in a row. Yeah, that's pretty.
But like, if you like go to back then, like you could tell Mr. Enter was just doing it for the love of the game. And that's probably why I like kind of respect Mr. Enter so much, because like you could tell back then when like the cartoon community was just starting out, or like not really just starting out, but like more getting up there, right? You could tell he was doing it for the love of the game. Like it wasn't just like, you know, this shit wasn't a game to him, but you know, he was doing it for the love of the game. I don't know. He just had a lot of passion. You know, and that's what's so interesting about that, you know, that passion, that ambition, you know, that ambition that not a lot of people have today, you know what I mean? Or maybe I just found him funny because he would just scream a lot about fucking stuff that doesn't really matter all too much. Speaking of like the grind though, and like doing things for the grind, right? There's this one cartoon YouTuber that I feel like people hate too much, okay? There's this one guy named ValeScubum94. Now, I am a bit biased, right? Just keep this in mind before someone puts their hate comments in. Yes, I am biased, okay? Because, dude, honestly, I used to watch ValeScubum94 so much in fucking middle school. I think he removed the 94 out of his name. But anyways, I used to watch ValeScubum a lot. Like, when I wanted cartoon news back then, I just went to him, to be honest. I didn't have Twitter back then, so I was just like, fuck it, let's just watch a ValeScubum video and then, you know, just get the new cartoon news, or I guess a few, because he uploads like every day. Now, on one hand, right, his videos are lazy, they're monotone, and they're all this, you know, they're basically just like, I mean, his videos can honestly fit into a tweet, to be honest. Like, you could probably take a lot of the ideas of his videos, search them up yourself, and then just put it into a tweet, right? There's a whole Twitter page literally dedicated to just saving you a click off his videos. But at the same time, you know, honestly, I kind of respect the grind. Like, he's just doing it for the grind, bro. He's been doing this for like 8 years, like ever since Gravity Falls ended, because he was okay, well, first he was a Club Penguin YouTuber, then he was a Gravity Falls YouTuber, and now he's a cartoon news YouTuber, you know? Like, there is that grind there, you know? He never stops grinding, and that's probably why I respect him so much, because, you know what? He does it for the love of the game, he does it for the grind, he doesn't stop, okay? He's just grind, you know? And there's that respect there. There's that, like, mutual respect, you know? It's just like a little hustle he does. Okay, one thing about VeilSkibum94, right, that I actually kind of like compared to, like, a lot of other content creators, like, okay, when you look at the entire cartoon community, right, like, Rebel Taxi, Pie Guy Rules, Mr. Enter, like, Mars Reviews, I don't know what he's up to, but, like, when you look at the cartoon community, for example, there's a lot of, like, unique personalities, like, very unique personalities, right? There's that fucking Mr. Enter guy who gets mad at cartoons for being mean-spirited and shit, or something. There's the goth girl lover cringe Rebel Taxi guy, right? Like, he's like cringe 2000s scene core, whatever the fuck he is, right? Then you have like the people like that are more obscure, like Ben the Looney, who's just fucking weird, honestly. And then you have like VeilSkibum, who's just so normal, right? He's like this normal, everyday guy. Like, you could probably see him like walking on the street and not even like think a second, right? But it's like, I don't know, that's probably like what's so interesting about Veil to me, because he's so normal, right? He's like scarce. He's like the scarce of the cartoon community, right? He's kind of like white bread or something, or toast, right? There's nothing wrong with toast, right? But it's not like the greatest thing ever, right? You know, there's nothing wrong with toast, though. You know, nothing wrong with toast. It's not the greatest thing ever, but there's nothing wrong with it, you know? And I feel like that's, like, the main way to, like, look at his videos, right? Now, in terms of other stuff, I know there's been a lot of things going around in this community. I know one thing that's been going around is, like, the new SaberSpark allegations and stuff. Like, honestly, one thing that I really do want to talk about is, like, if you don't know what the allegations are, SaberSpark is currently being accused, okay? And this is an allegation. I am not saying this is real. I am not saying, like, oh, he definitely did it or something, okay? I'm not saying that. I am saying that it is an allegation out there that he is currently being accused of being a rapist. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to, like, say anything, right? And I know a lot of people are doing this and using this to, like, dump on SaberSpark and say he's stupid and all this other stuff, but honestly, like, look, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't like SaberSpark, right? I made a whole video saying why he sucks, why I think he's, like, weird and he's a creep or whatever, right? And, like, if these allegations were true, I feel like it would just further prove my point, but it would also, like, if these allegations were really true, I feel like it would make me more sad than anything, and I feel it would make me more sad than anything, because, like, SaberSpark, like, if I look him up on YouTube right now, right? In fact, let me look him up on YouTube right now, in fact. Fucking SaberSpark. The dude has, like, fucking, how many subscribers, bro? The dude has 2 million subscribers. 2 million subscribers. If these allegations are true, if this is true, like, what about those 2 million people? Those 2 million people that subscribe to SaberSpark and like his content, right? Like, that must be, like, really disappointing for them, you know? And I know a lot of, like, the people who watch SaberSpark are, like, teenagers, and it's not easy to have, like, your favorite content creator come out to be, like, a really shitty person, right? Now, with YouTubers like, I don't know, I'm Alex, that one guy, for example, right? That guy's been already called out for being such a shitty person, like, 5 times at that point. Like, when he was exposed for, like, the 6 billion time, nobody really cared, right? But with SaberSpark has never really been in, like, a lot of, like, super big controversies. Like, there was something about, like, him apparently, like, defending a pedophile or something. I don't know anything about that, but yeah, I mean, it just would be really fucked up if this did turn out to be true, because it would make a lot of people in the cartoon community look bad. I mean, the dude has 2 million subscribers. Like, a lot of people like him. A lot of people in the cartoon community like SaberSpark. You know, a lot of people like that guy. People actually look up to SaberSpark, and they do have a respect for him, you know? Even if people beef with him, even the people that beef with him or think he's corny or something, they at least respect him in some way. So it would just be shitty if, like, he did turn out to be a rapist, you know? That would just be a really horrible thing. This is no joke, no funny, no sarcasm, okay? I'm being 100% real. But anyway, that's really all I have to say about the allegations, and to be honest, that's really all I have to say for this video. I think I've said enough about, like, the cartoon community. I always liked the cartoon community, you know? In terms of, like, cartoon YouTubers I like, there's Rebel Taxi, Mr. Enter, I think he's cool. I think his new videos are pretty good, actually. Pie Guy Rules, I don't know what he's up to. Saberfart. Yeah, Saberfart is the greatest one, actually. Saberfart's probably the best one, okay? Saberfart is the greatest YouTuber that has ever lived, and nobody understands this, okay? And that is the conclusion of this video. In conclusion, Saberfart is God. That's about it. Good luck, everybody. Have a great day.
I thought it would be awesome to get down on happiness tonight. It's just a little bit sometimes I think of calling you up to make myself look bad again. But don't give me pause to get the thought. Last night I had a dream, started dating, now you're pissing me off. I know it's not a lie, it's my secret.
Drop that controller and grab the remote, because Spike TV is taking you to the next level. We're the biggest night of the year for video games. It's Spike TV's Video Game Awards 2004. All that fast driving, butt kicking, and helmet cracking has led up to this, the main event, hosted by the dog father himself, Snoop Dogg.
This show's going doggy style.
Spike TV's Video Game Awards 2004, live Tuesday, December 14th at 9. Put it on pause for this one, dog.
Tell it like it is, my man.
Only on Spike TV.